What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns breaking down the Mafia 3 E3 teaser trailer. By the way, I got the teaser trailer linked below in the description section, along with the Mafia official YouTube channel, because they have several variations of the trailer depending on what country you're from. I don't think they have them in all countries, but there are several different languages that they translated it to, so perhaps you'll find your version over on the Mafia YouTube channel, but the official English version is also linked below in the description section. By the way, feel free and check out my content, my playlist for Mafia 3. I cover everything. You know, when it comes to trailers, when it comes to information, the New Bordeaux Tribune, case files, etc. All of it available in my Mafia playlist in the top right-hand corner. By the way, Mafia 3 E3 World Premiere being hosted by IGN Live is happening this Sunday, June 12th, starting at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and 1:30 a.m. in the UK on Monday morning, June 13th. So that's what's happening this weekend. So let's go ahead and get into this very short teaser trailer, which shows some things we've already seen from the previous trailers, as well as some new stuff too. Now, the teaser trailer opens with Sal Marcano turning on Sammy Robinson and the Black Mob, killing most of them and leaving Lincoln Clay for dead until he is rescued by the priest. Then, of course, you see an image up close of Lincoln Clay looking down either at a victim, somebody he's just taken down, or possibly he's reflecting on the events that happened a few months prior, you know, when Sal Marcano turned on Sammy Robinson and nearly left him for dead. Another image where he looks up and, you know, you see this determination on his face to get revenge for what happened to Sammy and the rest of the Black Mob, because he wants to bring down the Sal Marcano criminal empire piece by piece. The next image is, of course, an interview from the guy that is investigating the events that happened in 1968 New Bordeaux. And this is the guy you see in the Lincoln Clay case files. He's trying to connect all this stuff together. You see all this things in the back, images, photos, newspaper clippings. And he says that it wasn't until sometime later that he realized that Lincoln Clay survived the Black Mob massacre, and he was the one who was waging this war against Sal Marcano. Now, what's interesting is when it spans to a couple more images, one of the images you see is, of course, Sal Marcano, which is where the camera focuses to, but right before that, you see an image to the left. Probably something familiar if you ever played Mafia 2. Vito, when he was younger in the Empire Bay days, along with his best friend, Joe Barbaro. Now, this is obviously probably like surveillance footage from the FBI back in the day, you know, obviously in the, 1950, 1951, when, you know, Vito got out of prison because Joe is wearing his Hawaiian shirt. So, nice little Easter egg, paying homage to Mafia 2 right there. So, quickly, the camera spans over to Sal Marcano because he is the main antagonist of Mafia 3. And, of course, his son is in the background. So, that's the guy that Lincoln Clay is going to bring down. And he's going to wage a war across New Bordeaux in order to do it. The next image, of course, is Lincoln Clay walking away from a huge fire. Now, it looks like it's a mansion or perhaps a front for the Sal Marcano crime family. Either way, he walked in, kicked ass, took names, and lit that mother on fire. So watch out for Lincoln Clay because he is on the warpath. And it's very symbolic of what's happening here. He's leaving nothing but dead bodies, fire, and destruction in his wake. The next image is a chase scene where Lincoln Clay is in one of his muscle cars. He is obviously being pursued by the New Bordeaux PD, but chances are they're not going to catch him. He's going to get away because he's a way better driver and probably in a way better vehicle than a standard squad car in New Bordeaux circa 1968. And this brings up another factor, the fact that not only is Lincoln Clay waging a war against Sal Marcano and his criminal empire, but he's also having to deal with corrupt cops that are part of the New Bordeaux PD that are on the take, being paid off by Sal Marcano. So in a way, Lincoln Clay is kind of like waging a war on two fronts. While he's trying to take down Sal Marcano's using everything he can to try and stop Lincoln Clay, including his own men, his capos, his lieutenants, and of course, even the police department to bring Lincoln Clay down. Now this image once again shows what Lincoln Clay does best, because he is a soldier, battle-hardened from Vietnam. He's seen a little bit of combat. And he's coming into this scene, into a firefight, pulling out his 1911, prepared to fill his foes with lead. Now, I believe this image is of Cassandra. Now, I could be completely wrong about that, but I think it's Cassandra. Now, obviously, she's on stage, and she's singing. Most likely, she's up there on stage. Looks like she has a microphone in her hand, so she's performing. Or else it just could be some random singer in one of the clubs in New Bordeaux. But I think it's Cassandra, but once again, I could be wrong about that. And obviously, Cassandra, leader of the Haitians, and of course, one of Lincoln Clay's lieutenants. Next, of course, is a boat ride. So it looks like we're also going to be able to use boats in Mafia 3. So hopefully that means hashtag boats confirmed, because that's one of the things a lot of people have been asking about, besides the ability to get around via cars, obviously, because they've really showed off all the awesome looking muscle cars. And now we get our first look at one of the boats in Mafia 3. But this is definitely something a lot of people have been curious about. Would we be able to use boats? Because New Bordeaux is based on real life New Orleans, and New Orleans is surrounded by water. You have the Mississippi River, you have this huge lake called Lake Pontchartrain, not to mention bayous and swamps. The same thing goes for New Bordeaux. So obviously, traveling by boat is very important in Mafia 3. And I pretty much think that we could go by this other image of the boat. I think Lincoln Clay is actually the driver. So I think that's actually Lincoln Clay in the boat. See, I believe so. Okay, I'm saying that's Lincoln Clay, and hopefully that confirms our ability to use boats in Mafia 3. The next image is, of course, Lincoln Clay with a machine gun wreaking havoc, blasting cars and mobsters to bits. Now, this image could very well tie into the little bit we saw of a Lincoln Clay chase scene where he's being once again pursued by the NBPD, the New Bordeaux Police Department. Now, this could be a completely different chase scene where they're once again after him, or it could be all tied together. But it's a really cool shot of, once again, Lincoln Clay trying to get away from the police who are pursuing him. Whether or not they are actually legitimate cops trying to uphold the law, because you have this guy out there breaking laws, obviously, despite the fact he's trying to bring down a greater evil. Or it could simply be because, like I mentioned, the New Bordeaux police are bought and paid for by Sal Marcano, and Sal is trying to do everything he can to stop Lincoln Clay at all costs. Whether it's, sending off his men to fight him and die, or even the NBPD. Now, the last couple of images are of Lincoln Clay slowly walking out of a bar. He's walking out slowly, he's looking down at something, and as he exits the bar, you see another poor bastard that had the misfortune of going up against Lincoln Clay. Now, who this guy is, whether or not he's tied to Sal Marcano, remains to be seen. So feel free, go check out the trailer yourself, like I did about 10 or so times. And if I missed anything, feel free and leave it below in the comment section, because I'm only human as far as I know, and occasionally I do miss a few things. Anyways, coming up this Sunday, June 12th, starting at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, or Monday morning around 1:30 a.m. over in the UK, IGN Live presents the Mafia 3 E3 World Premiere. And it's going to go over the full version of this trailer, along with new gameplay, etc. So I'm really excited about that. And don't forget, coming up October 7th, Mafia 3 coming to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.